my sweet friends. My name is Emmy, my husband behind the camera, and on the guitar is Paul. How'd you guys like the intro? Little something different, mix it up. I know you love to hear him play, and when I can get him to do a little bit for the camera, I'm always thrilled. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a different intro. We are an early retirement, debt-free, mortgage-free couple living in the state of New York, and basically our videos just show you how to live a more abundant life on less money. And if you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. Come on and be part of our family. Today's video is a zero food waste. We're going to make 2 delicious recipes, and we're also going to preserve food that we know we need to preserve. This is a motivational video. I am hoping that you will in turn go to your refrigerator, see what you have, toss anything out that shouldn't be in there, that is spoiled or bad, freeze or cook up the food that needs to be frozen and cooked up. It's just to be encouraging. One of the segments I wanted to do was Paul cutting and drying our corn stalks for decoration, but it has been wet and we haven't been able to do that yet. But I promise on the first dry day, we're going to be doing that and you will get to see it. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it too. So sit back, relax, take some notes. I hope this just is a total encouragement. So let's get right to the video. It's time for a zero food waste video because we have stuff in here that has to be used up. We have a salad that's going to be with dinner tonight. Fine. I have 3 lemons that I bought a while ago. I have not used them. They're starting to get funny. I've got to freeze those. We have some leftover spaghetti that's going to have to go for lunch. I have a bunch of different opened up peanut butters. I'm going to see if I can find a recipe to use some of this because we go on vacation. We would take a jar and then not finish it and open another one. I'm going to reach in here, 1, and I'm seeing 2 jars of salsa open. So we're going to have to figure out about that. I have dinner defrosting. We're going to make some stew with a piece of beef. Our friend went to Lancaster and bought us back a bunch of little jellies and jams. I've got a big bag of apples, more jelly back there. I've got some walnuts. We've got some grapes. This is a half of a watermelon. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, little tiny piece of ham. We got to start going through this. Let's do some food prep. Let's do some zero food waste cooking as well. I have a piece of leftover ham that I am going to dice. I have got some leftover mashed potatoes. I'm going to grab an egg. Got a little flour. We have 2 pieces of pepper jack cheese, and we are just gonna make something real fancy out of this. I just took the ham and I cut it up. If you don't have ham, you don't even have to add meat to this recipe. You really don't. I just had this little piece, so I wanted to use it. I'm guesstimating about 1.5 cups of mashed potatoes left over. They're ice cold. To that, I am going to add 1/4 cup of flour, 1 egg, and I have 2 pieces of pepper jack cheese. And what I'm going to do is just rip these into little pieces like this and add it right to our mixture. I am going to give this a good mix. And we're going to add a little bit of seasonings. I hope this video is encouraging to you. I hope it's motivating in that you go to your fridge, look at what you have, and say, how can I make this into something delicious? Is that these little bits and pieces of food that are in your refrigerator can be turned into an entirely different meal. And we don't have to throw them out. We don't have to let them go bad. Make sure we do what we can to maximize our food budget and minimize the waste. Now I'm just going to add a little onion powder and some ground black pepper and give that a good mix. Now we're going to gently fry these into some patties. I melted a little bit of butter in the pan and it's over a medium-high heat. Okay, we're dropping them in. My hands got a little messy, but definitely you can use a spoon with this. Flatten them a little so they heat all the way through. We want to cook that egg and flour. You don't want to taste that flour. I'm going to start with 2 minutes on one side and see how that comes out. They smell so good. These cook for 2 minutes. I'm going to give them a flip. Now you can really push them down a little bit because that side is cooked. Well, the 2 minutes was absolutely perfect. Push them down once you flip them. And I'm going to do another 2 minutes on this side. You know what would be amazing with these is sour cream. And unfortunately, I don't have any. So we're going to do it without. But oh my goodness, if you had a little sour cream and green onion, you know, like some chives, wow. But these are going to be great anyway. I'm going to put on the timer for another 2 minutes. They cooked for 2 minutes on the other side. And I'm going to give them one more flip. Oops, that little guy came off. One more flip, push them down. You just want the insides to be hot. That's super important because you've got flour and egg. So I cooked them, going back and forth, flipping them just for about 6 minutes. And they look perfect. You're going to have to trust us on this one. It does not look pretty. Okay, it doesn't. I'm going to give you that. But they are phenomenal. They are so delicious. These simple frugal ingredients totally transform those mashed potatoes and that little piece of ham. No joke, I would rather eat these than the mashed potatoes any day. These were phenomenal. So check your refrigerator, see what you have, be creative. You will be surprised at how much money you can save on your food budget. I know, and I said it in the video, they do not look pretty. Paul? Can you just tell me what you thought of those potato pancake cheddar-y ham things?
They tasted absolutely phenomenal. They were delicious. And I don't even need sour cream.
I think they would have been good with sour cream, but they were amazing. And again, even if the ham wasn't in it, I still think this was a total win, honestly. So good. Okay, we're going to get back into the kitchen. Now we're going to do some preserving of food, and then we're going to go to another recipe. I know, jam-packed video. Here you go. First item that is getting prepped is this half a watermelon. And the problem with watermelon is you got to take it out and slice it, and no one wants to be bothered at night. Am I right, Paul?
Yeah, no, it sits for a while, so this is the easiest thing to do. We've done it with the honeydew melons, and it's great. You take what you want, and there's no waste, and it makes more room in the fridge. So instead of this giant container, that look, you can put it in something small.
So one no waste item prepped. So we have 2 jars of pickles. I'm going to consolidate them. One is zesty bread and butter and the other is dill. We don't need the 2 jars. It's not going to matter. We like both. They would go with whatever we're eating. Why am I doing this? Why not just leave 2 jars of pickles in there? It takes up room. This way we're consolidating what we have. Everything is together and we know how much we have. So we're just going to mix them together. I also found a half a jar of Victoria sauce that I had opened several days ago that I meant to freeze right away, and I didn't. So now I just put it in a Ziploc bag, and that will go right into the freezer. These half open containers, if we're not going to use them right away, get them frozen. It's the only way we're going to extend the life of the product. I've got 3 lemons here that are getting a little squishy, so we need to freeze these right away. Yes, you can freeze lemons. I have shown this before, and I will show it quickly again. All you need to do is wash your lemons thoroughly. So we just did this. Now we're going to cut them up. Cut them into quarters, and then we laid them on a foil-lined cookie tray, and I'm going to pop these in the freezer until they are frozen completely. This works so well. Then what I do is just put them in a freezer Ziploc bag, take out what I need when I need it, set them out to defrost, and they're ready to use within a few minutes. Perfect way to keep lemons and limes from going bad. The lemons, nice and hard, and I have previously frozen lemons. I only have 3 pieces and a half of a lime left. So it's time to freeze some lemons. I'll tell you, there's nothing greater than when you need a lemon for a recipe and you know you have them in the freezer. They defrost really very quickly and they're perfect to go. Another food prep item done. We are continuing on in the kitchen. I have 2 bananas that need to be used. They've been in the refrigerator and they have gotten that refrigerator brown color and they need to be used. I have an overabundance of peanut butter. So we've got a half a cup of peanut butter. We have got some cocoa. We've got some vanilla, a little bit of melted butter, flour, brown sugar. What are we making? We are making peanut butter banana brownies. Yes, we are. First thing I'm doing is taking the 2 bananas and I am just going to give them a good smushing. I will link the original recipe down below, but you know me, I tell you all the time I tweak. Called for a cup of white sugar. That just seemed like a lot to me, so I am putting in a half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to add a 1/3 cup of melted and cooled butter, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And now I'm just going to whisk this all together. I love to be creative in the kitchen when it comes to zero food waste because the combinations you can come up with are endless. And what I will do with these, being that it's just Paul and I, is they're going to go into the freezer. And if we want something sweet after dinner, we can pull one out. And if somebody pops over, we have something to have with a cup of tea. I am going to be adding a 1/4 cup of baking cocoa, which is really just unsweetened cocoa powder. And I'm going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of regular all-purpose flour. And I'm just going to mix this together. What do y'all think this is going to taste like? It's going to be like a chocolate banana bread cookie thing? I don't know.
It smells fantastic.
I'll tell you, this recipe couldn't be easier. Minimal ingredients, which is what we love. Not a lot of processed food in this at all. And we cut the sugar way back, which is a good thing. This is a 9-inch square pan. I put a piece of parchment paper on the bottom. It's a little bit of a thick batter, but brownie batters usually are. And now I'm just going to spread this around on the piece of parchment paper. Now what we're going to do is take a half a cup of peanut butter, and I'm just going to drop it on top of our banana brownie mix. And what we're going to do now is just take this and we're just going to swirl this around. And being that I use 2 different types of peanut butter, which I'm sure you won't have to do, but I was using up different jars. This way there is no waste and I don't have 3 different peanut butter jars that have a 1/4 cup in each one. I'm going to take these brownies now and pop them in the oven. 350 for about 30 minutes or until the center doesn't jiggle. So this cooked for 30 minutes and the middle does not look jiggly. So I am going to assume these are done. Don't cut them till they are completely cooled. So we're just going to let them cool for right now. Then we'll give it a taste, see what they're like. These cooled completely, and what was so nice, they lifted right out of the pan. I'm going to give this a cut. Let's see what the inside looks like. That looks really good. We're going to give it a taste and we'll let you know. You know, this channel keeps it real. First thing Paul said when he tasted the brownies was, "What's that weird taste?" He's like, "I can't place it." I said, "Banana?" He's like, "That's it." I was like, "Yes, they're banana brownies." And the only thing he said was it needed more what, Paul?
I would go with a little more sugar,
Yeah.
a little sweeter.
I tweaked it way down. You saw me, it called for a cup. I put in a half a cup. I thought they were amazing. These are a very substantial brownie, like that with a cup of tea. Could almost be a meal. I'm not kidding. They're like dense, but they were so good. Now, if you like things a little sweeter, then like Paul said, definitely maybe you could go to 3/4 of a cup. He would have put the whole cup in. Really easy. Used up what we had. They were delicious. Just not quite sweet enough for Paul. So I hope this video was encouraging. I hope it motivated you to go through your refrigerator, see what's in there, make some meals, use up those leftovers, consolidate your food long as it's within date. Don't be mixing jars if one is out of date and one isn't. You know that. Don't do that. Keep everything together so you can find what you need when you need it, and it will save us so much on our grocery bill. Thank you for spending this time with us. We pray you have a wonderful weekend. Stay well, stay safe. Remember, we love you, and above all, we wish you blessings. We will see you on Tuesday. Until then, bye-bye. Dixie, why you pretend you can't hear me? You are getting to be quite the diva.